Calling it a little bit early today. A little bit. I got several things done I wanted to do. Well, like a couple of them anyhow. I needed to fill up more on that weed tea. I got that done. Went out and harvested in the garden. Picked up some watermelons. Pretty good bit of okra. It's been a day or two since those got harvested. Anyhow, got some bad news today. And it's my intention not to put up one of those, is this the end videos, because I got a little bit of bad news. My brother came up and told me today that we're gonna have to move the garden. They didn't want the garden in the same. They didn't want the garden there this next year. So obviously, the garden's a pretty good bit of what I'm doing. A lot of what I've been doing is this garden. Now, does it mean it's the end? I don't know. I don't think it means it'll be the end of videos, because truthfully I enjoy making them. We still got that Mississippi permaculture food forest going on, and I still got plenty of pearls of wisdom to be giving out, and I'm still a trophy husband. And we do have some other area that we could probably use for gardening, to put a garden in. The reason why where we at instead of another spot is fairly simple though. That other spot that's right down behind Mama's house is down towards the lake. It's harder to get to. You can't drive up to it, at least not at the moment. And it's downhill, which you might think would be a good thing until you try to come back up that hill. It's a pretty good ways down there. And you try to tote some T-posts down and back, or what's left of a bag of fertilizer, or anything, really anything heavy, you try to tote it up, it's like you carrying 50-pound bag of fertilizer on some stair steppers or something. For those of you what use those, it's difficult. Anyhow, I'm just pondering it at the moment. Now granted, it's just by the lake, but I don't know. Watering it doesn't seem to be the major issue. To be fair with it, to be honest with you, last year that annex was down there, and those were some of the prettiest plants we did. But that's not the only issue with it. The other issue is that particular plot. That area, my uncle, back in '92, I reckon it was, when a tornado came through. It might have been another year, but it seems like that would have been an ideal time for him to do what he did. I shall name no names. But somebody took a bunch of stuff and buried it back there. Now, ordinarily, if it was like biodegradable stuff like wood or limbs or whatever, I wouldn't worry with it. They stuff back here like fiberglass been buried, fiberglass insulation, and I don't think that makes for good planting, even if we did have a wonderful garden from the annex last year. What we did last year is we did like a no-till method down there. I just took some, now granted we did spread some fertilizer out, triple 13, a month before we planted down there. And then we toted some of that gin trash down there. I thought it was garden soil, but it was gin trash, thinking back. And I took that down there. I put the plants on the ground, surrounded it and packed it in a little bit with some gin trash. and then just cover it with hay. Now granted, those were some of the most beautiful, huge, prolific plants that we had last year. The best tomatoes that we had last year came out of the annex. Those squash plants we had down there, huge and very prolific, man. They were putting on so much fruit, it was just amazing, truly. But that's an option. It's just going to be a whole lot harder. The problem with making things harder, you're less likely to do them. Right now, it's pretty easy. All I got to do is drive 10 miles. Well, I ain't going to say it's easy now, but that's going to make it a whole lot harder. Just something I got to think about. Something I got to ponder on a little bit. Yep.